Howdy, folks. Welcome to another day in the Milky Way. And it is Saturday. And guess what? I got it right again. Can you believe it?
Yay!
Yay. And tonight, I've got Mr.
Yeah,
Robert V. and Trina Phoenix with me. Welcome back, y'all. How you doing?
good, good. I feel like Al today because I'm on the road. I'm in the truck.
Yep. Robert's on the road.
Big Al's in chat with us, I see.
Hi, Al.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey Al, I'm truck driving too.
Isn't he home since it's the weekend?
I
Yeah,
thought,
probably.
maybe. Yeah,
I
I think so.
Yeah, I know he's home because he sent me a picture out on the lake.
I was gonna say he should be home, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, no, like I said, he sent me a picture from the boat. He's either in the truck or in a boat.
Yeah.
I don't know if he has a house.
Absolutely. One that floats and one that rolls.
Yep, there you go.
There you go.
He's keeping it moving.
Heck yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, is it beautiful where y'all are at today? It's been crystal clear blue skies here, just beautiful.
It's been beautiful
Yeah.
here at night, but it's breezy and it is hot. Ooh.
Oh,
And it's not as hot as it is.
It's been real windy here, and about 2 days ago, I started seeing chemtrail planes again. I haven't seen them for like a long time, but I was
It's
so
because
amazed.
the commercial planes are back out, and so now they've got an excuse again.
Yeah, but they were out back and making zigzags and all. I'm thinking, there's no way a plane goes one way and then makes a curve and goes a whole different direction. Come on.
Yeah, it has. Like I said, today it was crystal clear here. We had them a couple of days ago. They were mixing them in, and then of course we got some rain. I swear I think that's why it rains here when it does. When we were getting hammered all the time with those chemtrails, it rained all the time here. It quit raining. They chemtrailed the other day, it rained. So we must be dependent on it here in Tennessee.
Wow.
Yeah, but
I've been noticing lately, and I've never seen this so much before. They're doing loop-de-loops now. So I'm seeing these circles. They're putting circles. It's very, very interesting. Yeah, I've never seen that before. I've seen lines and all that, crisscross, checkerboard, X marks the spot. Oh yeah, lots of that stuff. But yeah, lately I've been seeing them do arcs and loops.
I've seen them do the arcs and I've seen them do the loops, but they weren't chemtrailing at the time. But I've sat there like when I do those time lapses, and I've seen planes just go around in circles.
Yeah, but these are chemtrails though, and they're leaving circles, perfect circles.
Randy Robinson said there's a badass electrical storm happening in Louisiana right now. Shit, I'm sure it is. It's hot down there.
Wow. Yeah. No, Brian, I think this is the new light coming in. It's going to cause a lot of electrical and plasma stuff.
The new light's here. It's the sun.
Yeah. Well, as what I've seen is that as the magnetosphere gets weaker. I've seen this on what's that the one that guy that I listened to
Morning Dew.
No, that Suspicious Observer.
Oh, Suspicious Observers, yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, he's saying that as the magnetosphere, starts getting weaker, then we get more electrical storms. And I think that, and several other ones been saying the same thing. So as that gets weaker, more stuff gets through, and then, it makes more friction closer to the ground, which makes more lightning and more, jumps like that closer. And then that's why we're seeing all this stuff.
I wish I had the link, but my friend at Morning Dew, Mike, he posted a video the other day about the solar minimum cycle, and supposedly we're at that the 3,600 year cycle where the last mini ice age came through. That cycle's back through, and it's same galactic alignment. And the indicator is there's like, I think, 36 volcanoes that are active right now. There's going to be a big one go off, and that's going to be the indicator, is what the video says at least. But it's kind of funny because I kind of sense something like that too. There's something from the sky, which it could be volcano, it could be, you know,
Remember, Brian,
inbound, it could be
remember
anything.
when you said you saw something behind the sun?
Yeah.
I think it's something like that.
Well, I
think
mean, that's going to activate volcanoes for sure. If something
yeah,
big like
but
that
I
comes in.
think we're in a massive end of it's I don't know how to explain it other than like when the gods turn the wheel. So we're in one of those turning the wheels, a big cycle.
That
So
reminds
from,
me of the Mayan calendar, the
yeah,
Bacchus.
that's kind of what I see is these wheels inside
Yeah.
these wheels, and there's these gods that oversee the wheel, which is the zodiac wheel, and it's as above, so below. It's the craziest crap
Well,
they're
like I
showing.
said, the appearance of a fucus too. I mean, that's not by mistake.
That's what I'm thinking. There's something. This is something that happens with the sun, and it's like I almost see it's like a changing of the sun, because it's like the solar lord of Pisces is now losing. It's not going to be in control anymore. So the Aquarian deity, the energy of Aquarius is coming in. So this is why the sun is dimming, and it's going to reignite with the new Aquarian light. That's what I see happening. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Johan says, speaking of the Mayan calendar, it was off. This is actually 2012, and she's right about that because of the Gregorian calendar. If you go by the
Yeah.
I can't remember the other two calendars. They're two older calendars, but they both
Yeah,
make
the
it
moon
2012.
calendar versus the 360,
Yeah, the
365.
Gregorian calendar is what threw
Yeah,
it off.
whatever calendar. Yeah.
Yep.
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 That's awesome. Yeah.
Hmm.
We're in
Yeah,
it,
speaking of
guys.
that, who do we got joining us tonight, Brian?
Yeah,
Yeah,
who's
let's
Got a lot of
see real
people. Might as
quick.
well go through that before we really get going. Who's here?
Got Mr. David Castle, and like I said earlier, Mr. Big Al. Always a pleasure. Miss Deborah Sloan, how you doing, huh? Good to see you. There's Miss Candy Apple, Tennessean. Julitica, how are you doing? There's Rebecca Galactinoff. Welcome back, huh? Good to see you as always. Jill Jarrett, what's going on? And as I mentioned earlier, Miss Brandy Robinson. There's Miss Tribal 444. Lord have mercy, I'm still just in awe of the gifts that she sent, like those seeds and stuff. I still go through them and just look like I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Absolutely. That's a precious gift.
Yeah,
Nice.
absolutely. There's Mr. Dick Trickle. Guy grabbed my heart, Lord have mercy. I know that sounds weird talking about
Hi, Dick
Dick Trickle grabbing my heart, but
Yeah, me too.
I wonder if they,
huh?
You got me on that one, Brian.
Man,
I was like, we were a wreck.
Man, that tore me
you
up.
know, Dick Trickle used to be a kind of a famous race car driver
Yeah.
in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the reason I laughed the first time I saw that name. It wasn't because of the name Dick Trickle, it's because of the NASCAR driver. There's Miss KTM. How you doing? Trying to stay awake. Well, I hope you make it. There's Genevieve. I'm gonna be getting her on here. I think I'm gonna pair her up with Kent, have the two Canadians on here and see how that one works out.
Right on.
Who else we got going on? As I said,
Awesome.
Johan. There's Miss Delaney. How you doing,
Hi,
huh? Who
Delaney.
else we got? Shannon Clean. What's going on, girl? Good to see you. That way. Welcome back. Been a while. Miss Jana Armstrong. Moon cycles running 19-year cycles, ergo an event every 19 years. What kind of event? Can you elaborate? Celia in favor.
Is
How
it the
you
19
doing?
years? The moon event? The moon cycles every 19 years, doesn't it?
That's what she was saying.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And Big Al, Robert V is on his way home from madness. So
Dickinson.
Yeah.
Dickinson shopping. That's what I went from, and at Walmart, and it's terrible. And all the stories are true about the bicycles being gone off the racks and no meat in the freezers. Man, everything was empty. Gone.
I mean, I'm telling you that it's just the tip of the iceberg. It really is.
So prepare, people. Prepare. and buy a little bit extra because you don't want to be the guy who goes there and says, don't worry, don't worry. And then you walk in there one day and half the stuff is gone and they go, well, that's what we got.
Yep, that's it. Let me finish this out real quick. There's Miss Chloe. There's Shauna D. ATL has protests blocking the interstate. Well, it wouldn't take much to block the interstates down there in Atlanta. Holy cow, I swear to God, that Atlanta and Dallas, Texas is the two worst cities I've ever drove in my life. I mean, I've been through New York City, Chicago, LA, Dallas, and Atlanta is a nightmare.
Wow.
Anyway, that's everybody that's with us so far. ATL is about 45 minutes for me, Shauna D. Okay. So how far are you away from the juncture where we may lose you there, Robert?
Oh, I got probably about 30, 40 miles. So
Oh, okay.
I'm good for a while.
Right on.
Anyway, but today I want to talk about focus. Focus, focus, focus. I realize that through all this chaos and madness, that there's people out there that have good intentions in their heart on both sides, not just one side or the other. They both do. But the thing is they're not focusing. They're not knowledgeable. And I'm saying on both sides, regardless. But there's only a few focused people. And if everybody would focus on things in their lives and things that are out there, maybe we wouldn't make such bad decisions and we would think about stuff better. We would focus on what really is going on, really what's going, and then try to become knowledgeable about those things instead of being scattered and because as you know, if any of you watch the news at all or listen to the radio, they're talking about riots and they're talking about the virus and then they're talking about something else, and then the president and the congressman and the other guy and and it just goes on and on and on, and then you lose focus on all of those things and you know nothing because you know a little bit about everything, you don't know anything. And then it's easy for the powers that be or whatever to lead you in the direction that they want you to go, because now since you didn't focus on at least one thing and throw all the rest out and say, I don't want to listen to any of that stuff, or I want to become knowledgeable and focused on one thing at a time, they can lead you in that direction.
It amazes me now that I've, so to say, woke up, how what everybody fusses and argues over what they consider important, none of it that they argue over, none of it's important. None of it.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And that's what they keep us divided with, folks. Think about that. Things that don't matter in the grand scheme.
Yeah.
I've been learning a lot about trying to overcome the duality of our reality. You know what I mean? Because it's the biggest thing we're dealing with, the division and all the separating. And it's like how to get that to unify. And everybody talks about unity, and it's like the unity that they keep showing me is about it's our consciousness. They're like everything is going to the consciousness, because you as consciousness, that's the part of you that's literally aware, and God, that's the God part of you. It's the conscious living part of you. So it's like the keep it simple situation. I keep hearing it's like you guys got to keep it simple, and try not to focus too much on the details, because the details I think are what are getting us scattered. It's like we want to implement action and plans, and we're trying to figure all this stuff out, and they're like you just don't overthink it, just set forth what you really want to see happen. But the key to it is that we need to spend some time until we can feel it as though it's already here.
Mm-hmm. That's the way you manifest.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is, see, this is the part I want to disagree with you on, Trina, is the details. It's like if you focus on one thing and then you focus on the details of that one thing and really focus and then learn about those details. And we'll just take an example. You know, I'm gonna pick up my coffee cup and I'm gonna have something or whatever. It doesn't matter if it's a cup or not. But I'm gonna focus on grabbing the cup, and then I'm gonna focus on what the cup feels like, and I'm gonna focus on what's in the cup. If it's hot or it's cold, then I'm gonna try to smell what's in the cup. You know, and all those little details add up to about what I'm gonna be receiving. I'm going to be grabbing, but you take that all for granted. You just see the cup with the coffee or drink in it, and you put it up to your mouth and you drink it down and you go, that was good. But how many times you focus on all those little details to really find out what you're drinking or, you know, and that's just a simple example. Because if you start focusing on those details, you might say, hey, you know, I always thought that coffee was really good, but it's kind of bitter because I've taken the time to, you know, realize that, I actually taste it instead of guzzling it. You know, maybe the coffee's really too hot instead of putting it in your mouth and burning your lips, you know, and you didn't think about that ahead of time. And that's what I'm trying to say is most people aren't focusing on all those details. If they did, they would realize that all these lives matter. You don't break and loot things, and you don't march in the streets to get your answer out and hurt people in the process. If you want to get your voice out, you do things to get your voice out. You concentrate on what you're protesting about, because I bet you half of those people out there really don't know what they're doing or what they're protesting. They just know some guy died and they're out there. Things got to change, abolish the police, but they don't realize that they abolished all the police. Guess what? There's no law. Everybody runs rampant. And then who are you going to call when you're needing help? Nobody.
That's why I said, you know, I don't believe in disbanding the police at all. I do believe in demilitarizing the police again. They don't need to be set up like armies. They can maybe have a SWAT unit set up like that, but every cop should not have an automatic rifle. Every cop should not have all this, you know.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with all of that. But when they're doing holds on citizens that kill them,
if you have that kind of equipment,
ridiculous.
you're going to use that kind of equipment.
Yeah, but
just take it out of the.
You might need to. I mean, I've literally.
Well, like I said, you'd have a certain division, but not every one of them out there. I mean, look at what's going on. I mean, shit, they don't even need the military hardware. But I'm just saying, it sets that mind frame.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Yeah. I see all these cops, and they've got all the power in the world, and they're not doing anything in half of these places because they're being told not to. So we're seeing all of this destruction because the power that they have at their fingertips, they're not even allowed to use it.
See, that's what's so comical to me, and everybody gets all in a hoopla like, you think, you know, the Democrats are wanting it this one way and the Republicans are wanting this, but they all commingle together. They're all working towards the same agenda. They may look like different, well, they are different routes, but they're all going to the same place. They're all in it together.
I don't know. I do see a clear division between the people that are protesting.
I'm talking about in the political figures.
But I think this is a political movement. This Antifa thing is turning into a political thing. It's turning into a political thing.
Well, I mean, I'm not discounting that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And that's definitely, I think, a different part than Democratic or Republican. I think this is a whole different faction of government that's surfacing that we've never seen before based on hate.
That's what we need. Like I said, this system is broken.
See, but this is the thing. The powers that be are plotting the people against each other, and they're taking people who are unknowledgeable, and they're creating chaos, and then they're telling the police who are knowledgeable to stand back and let them do it. And in the process, the other people who are like you and me say, well, let's just, you know, demilitarize the police. Some guy showing up in a black jacket with his machine gun.
Hey, slow down a little bit, Robert. You're breaking up, so slow down a little bit.
Oh. Okay.
When you start talking fast, it breaks up.
Saying is that. Oh, okay. So I'm saying is when you have a guy that shows up as a military guy with a machine gun at your house or into your car for because you were speeding, it makes you very nervous or anything. I mean, it would make anybody nervous. Oh my gosh, you know, I just What did I do that I deserve to have you show up with a machine gun and a flak jacket and 5 cops surrounding my vehicle because I did what? What did I do? You
And
feel
you're
guilty,
still
and
seeing
like
these.
you're in.
You're still seeing these beatdowns taking place on the news. Like, I hadn't watched the
Yeah.
news all week, and I turned it on yesterday, and there was like 3 more cases where these cops had people down with their knees on their neck and beating them down, shooting people. Like, it's still going on.
Yeah, yeah, it is, because that's how they were trained. But see, when I talk about the focusing, see, you and Trina were focusing on those smaller details, but I think a lot of people don't focus on that. They just want change. They want to get rid of the police. You can't just get rid of the police. They don't focus. They don't think. They don't know. But powers that be are plotting those people, and then all of us getting set up for a new kind of policing. And that's what I believe they're going to usher in, is something totally new where we're all controlled by something else.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, AI. I mean, they start giving them shots out with all those chips in it. Yeah, and then all they got to do, hey, you know, they know where you're at every single minute of the day with the 20,000 satellites in the sky. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, SpaceX just put up another, 58 last night?
Yeah, and you're putting those things up for good measure, putting them up for a reason. They have this all planned out. What do you think's going to happen when you
remember
get these hand?
You remember back in the day, Skynet?
Yes, but that's a true company. It's a real thing, Skynet.
I know. Well, now Elon, he's really putting it up there, though.
Yeah, but they're doing it for a reason. They have this all planned out.
Oh, yeah.
But right now, I believe that they're plotting everybody against everybody till the normal people, which more sane, civilized people and the people rioting, that are going to cry out for some kind of law to come in and stop this, because the commerce will be stopped, the stores will be burning, the cities will be functioning. You won't be able to go get food at the grocery store because the trucks couldn't make it across the interstate because the people were both blocking it. You see where I'm going with this? And then eventually they say, hey, we got to call in the military. Now you have a new scenario. And then they say, well, we don't want to live under martial law. Well, guess what? We'll roll out this new concept of police.
Sorry, you're breaking
and
up
here we
bad,
go.
dude. You're getting robotic bad. You get excited and it's just like.
All right. Well, there's a rest area up here. I'm going to stop and have.
I know, it's all good. It's just when you get rolling, when you get excited and start talking quick, it starts breaking up. It's all good.
Like I said,
we still get the gist of it.
Good. What do you think of that? What do you believe? Do you have any other ideas we can have?
Trina?
What was the question?
How do we solve this problem with, or how do you believe they will solve the problem with all this stuff going on?
I think it's going to be up to us.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's why I say everybody needs to focus and be knowledgeable on whatever thing they're really concerned about, instead of be bopping around, because you have to be concentrated and know the details. So that Trina, you do like a hypnotism thing or something, don't you? You do something like that where you have people do that. Well, when you do that, you have them concentrate and focus on whatever they relax. And when you relax, you focus more, right?
No, that's what I'm saying. Focus will stop your process. You need to just be in the flow, and you need to trust what you see and just move through it. If you get, I mean, details will come up when they're needed if you need to see something that you didn't see before. But the thing with the details, it's like what I see happening right now in the world is a huge situation. It's huge. It's
Yep, yeah.
political, it's religious, it's economic, it's food, it's pollution, it's environmental, it's global warming. It is so massive. Now, if you tried to know the details about every single one of those aspects of our world, you would be stuck in a library for the next 15 years.
You know, it's really simple though, because the biggest determining factor that I've seen that works better than anything is just when they see it doesn't bother us, it doesn't affect the population. So if we just ignore everything, ignore them, it would kill them. They would implode.
Brian,
Yes.
that's so simple and so brilliant, because that's like literally they show me this is how you win. It is going to be that simple. It's
Yeah,
going to be that
don't pay
simple.
them no mind.
Well, and the thing is you're not giving it any energy. But I do have a concern about the destruction of our property and the
yeah.
harming of innocent people. So, you know, I do have a concern for that. And I don't think that that's acceptable for any reason.
Well, you know, it's questionable now that that Floyd guy was really even killed. I mean, you know, I know it's the conspiracy in it, but I mean, you know, the tattoo is pixelated on his chest when he's. I mean, there's all kinds of those things, which it could just be, you know, the camera, or just could be the eye. I don't know, but I mean, like I said, the world is a stage. Who knows what our, you know, the true reality is. So that, like I said, the best thing to do is not even tune in and pay it any mind.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. There's so much energy going to this, and the best way to do it is to not even give any energy to it.
Don't
But
feed.
you know, when these behaviors, you know, they're creating mass chaos and potential threat. I really do hope that people will find a way to put an end to it, because I have a feeling it's going to come from us, not anywhere else, and it's not going to be a pretty situation probably, because these people feel justified in destroying and burning and looting our properties,
Yep.
and they're getting paid to do
I was
it.
getting ready to say they're getting paid to do it.
So, and with getting paid to do it when there's no jobs, first of all, they've got nothing better to do. Second of all, if they don't go loot and destroy, how are they going to feed themselves or anybody else? Thirdly, it's like there's unlimited funding behind this group.
Mhm.
So until they find a way to stop the people,
Basically, the people printing the money are the ones that's funding it.
well, if they stop the ones that were funding these people doing this, that would stop immediately.
Mhm.
Because
I like
they
what
wouldn't have their buses come pick them up. They wouldn't get paid if and this is what's going on, where these guys are being paid to destroy our country.
Listen to
So
what Gary Baxter says. He says, if the world is a stage, make it your own special show and your own special production.
yeah, and I every day I'm like focusing on Tombstone, baby. It's Arizona over here. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the world is all about, you're in the world. The world isn't in, you know, you're living in your own bubble. Make the best of it. I just feel bad for the people who are, you know, in those areas. I don't even know, do we have anybody in our group that's, you know, in those cities that are close by, that their houses are getting burned down and stuff like that? I don't know.
We've had some people in chat talking about Atlanta, and of course, like I said, you know, Trina, she's in Phoenix. There's been a lot of
And New
hell
York,
going on.
look what Ryan went through with the
New
whole
York.
thing. It got his whole family. They're in horrible shit in New
And
York.
you know, slightly slanted, he's up there right outside of Minneapolis.
Yeah, and my friend Judy, she's in Philly. She says it's like it's bad. Yeah, and look at Shannon. She's in Washington. You know that's bad.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah. What is up with this autonomous state that they've set up there in Seattle? What's up with that?
It's stupid. I mean, it's not even legal unless the governor
I knew
acknowledges
that,
it.
but-
And then if you're going to let one anonymous sovereign location pop up, you're going to have a whole lot more coming up really quick. So that would be like so stupid. I mean, it's just completely stupid.
For some reason, California just went California.
Yeah.
I could see a lot like different, you know.
Well, like I said, it
sections of
started with the
California.
sanctuaries, and now it's going to these whatever they're called.
And that's what Seattle is one.
Yeah, these are just weak attempts to take over territories. And that's what I'm saying. You know, that's what mobs do.
Yeah.
They go in and they
Yep.
take over and they brutally beat and scare and threaten and destroy property and take what they want and do what they want and totally suppress innocent, harmful, you know, harmless people. So like I said, I don't think any of this is okay under any circumstances. I don't care how upset you are over police brutality. And I don't understand too, why is this a Black Lives Matters and this isn't a police brutality issue? This has nothing to do with the color of your skin. This has to do with the fact that people are dying from brutality. And
Yep.
this is across the board. No one's being exempt, not females, not elderly, not any colors. Everybody's being touched by this.
Well, the reason it is a BLM thing is because that's the factions that you're hearing about on news. That's the
They're
factions
paying
they're
for all
pushing.
these people to loot and and protest.
I mean, you know, it's the same old story and dance. The media is the one that pushes this racial and, you know, thing anyway.
That's what I mean. They're getting the people to do exactly what will show how incompetent and how they need to be managed, because they have no logic and no reason within their own abilities. Because who in their right mind would think that anything is accomplished by destroying the cities we took hundreds of years to create?
And that's like, you know, destroying their own neighborhoods. Like,
that's what I mean. How could any of this ever benefit anyone?
It'd be like me going outside and being, I'm pissed off and burning the barn down, burning the house down, then just sitting here. Well, what the hell am I going to do now?
Yeah.
You know, and it's so funny
You're
too.
right. That's what they're doing.
I see a strong correlation. I think this is probably going to be hilarious, because you know how everybody's supposed to be wearing masks and all this stuff. Well, none of those people are wearing masks. And the funniest thing is that now all of them are going to be identified. There's cameras everywhere. Every single person that has been looting and doing all this stuff, they're probably going to get criminal charges in the mail.
They should.
They probably will. So I'm telling you, I think they're setting these yahoos up, and they have no idea what they're stepping into. And these are going to be serious allegations, because they're going to be involved in in terrorist group activities. This is not going to go well for many of these people, because they're all on camera.
Speaking of, they're still passing law after law, taking rights away.
I know. Did you see the one that they tried to pass in, I think, Wisconsin the other day?
Mm-mm.
No.
It was regarding the tracing and the narking on people who you suspect might be sick. And they were talking that they had the ability to go in and remove you from your home, and then remove anything of your personal effects in your home that they think cannot be sanitized, and destroy it, or anything that they don't want to disinfect. They'll just destroy your personal property and come in and take people from your home and detain them. This bill was so crazy. The people found out about it in a couple hours, and they rushed City Hall, and they were there in less than 2 hours, and they couldn't believe how many people showed up. This was one of the most unbelievable bills I've ever seen in my life, and they tried to sneak it through on a Sunday.
Wow.
So these people are trying to initiate some super, super dark stuff that Americans, we can't even conceptualize this kind of behavior. This is getting kind of serious now, guys.
Yeah. Well, see, when they create all the chaos, you pay attention to that, and then you don't look what they're doing behind the corner. It's like, oh, look at, I'm watching the riots on TV, and I got president on TV, and I got this going on and that going on. And hey, while they're doing that, taking this bill through, and then 2 days later, you look around and you go, why am I in my house, taking all my stuff, and all my children and my family away? Huh? What happened?
All I know is that we need to protect each other and come together right now with things being the way they are. I mean, it would seem to me the only way that we can have any kind of success at the moment is just to Not, first of all, I wouldn't be suggesting anybody getting anything that they want to put in your body right now, because the people that made those things definitely don't have good intentions for you at
Yes.
all. So, you know,
Like
I
me,
think
I mean, I'm just
they're
afraid to even
implementing.
go to the hospital. I didn't even want to go out.
I am terrified. I wouldn't go right now. I'd die in my bedroom first. I would. I wouldn't go.
I thought I was going
I wouldn't do
to.
it. I wouldn't do it. No way. You have testimony of people that are in New York.
Right now is the most important time to stay healthy and well.
Yeah.
Well, not just that.
Definitely
I mean,
stay healthy and well right now.
you got people talking about how they're seeing things that are happening in these hospitals, and it's these people are going to be traumatized for the rest of their life because they're witnessing murder.
Pretty much, yep.
How are they going to deal with this trauma?
Yeah.
This is huge. You wonder why all these soldiers get 22 at minimum a day killing themselves? It's because of the same kind of crap. This is what they're dealing with. They're dealing with taking orders, and the orders that they took now are the worst demon inside their body. And it's so bad it consumes them and takes their very life, because they followed orders that they knew were wrong.
Yep.
Yeah, Deborah Smith, I know she's in the hospital. Yeah, like I said, I mean,
Is she?
yeah, remember she went in because
Still?
of leukemia. Yeah,
I know, but I
she-
thought she got out and the tests were not bad.
she said in chat, "I'm in the hospital."
Oh God, Deborah.
Oh,
So send her some
Wow.
good wishes and healing.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
God
I
almighty.
hope it gets better. Gee. It's,
Yeah, I'm
it's not
thankful
good.
that I'm feeling better.
Well, and it's, you know, the same thing with little Love Bug who got in the car accident. She just had to go to the hospital too. I mean, like I said, I don't think it's the same situation unless you're going in with the symptoms of this illness. If you're going in specifically for that, you might be in trouble. You're going in for different stuff, cancers and different stuff. It's you're getting different treatment.
Well, I know, but see, the reason I'm scared is because I've been having the breathing issues from even before all this.
Oh, I know.
So that's why I like.
know. Like I said, Brian, I know, and I know a lot of people who are utterly terrified, and it's just because of what they're seeing.
Isn't that sad? I'm scared to death to go to the hospital.
I am too, and I've never felt that way my entire life until now.
That's
And you know what? I think a lot of people are feeling that way because you can see it in the numbers and you can see it in the layoffs. So
I mean, you see people that's posting these videos that are going into these hospitals and stuff,
empty.
and they're ghost towns.
Yeah, they say they're getting some more cases now, so maybe at least the people won't be laid off anymore. Because I mean, I'm really not that concerned. The mortality rate on this stuff is not high at all. So I mean, people are really terrified over something that's really not that terrifying. The flu has killed more people than this thing. So it's not, yes, it's a real virus and it does kill people, but yeah, it's not, I don't think it's to the level of what's been done to our nation. I don't think any of it's been justified by the amount of losses that we've had from this.
Have you got the dually?
Huh?
Have you got a dually?
Yeah, no, it ain't a dually, but a 1-ton crew cab. Oh, I'm going to turn the camera around, and if I stand up,
Oh, dude, the Badlands is one of my favorite areas in the country.
Here you go. Take a look. It's sunsetting.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, I want to turn the camera around here. This is where I'm at. Middle of nowhere. Nobody around. This is a park area. Drive around.
It's definitely a Big Al production.
There you go. There's my view every day.
That's beautiful. Like I say, that when I went out west and did that, with my friend, we went to like 30 states or 30 something states in 3 weeks or something like that. Anyway, that was one of the places we went, and that was one of my favorite places. It's just beautiful up there.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, one of these days I'm gonna get up here and when we do our thing, I'll be out at the camp. I'll be out at camp and having a campfire, and I'll get to enjoy that.
I'm hoping this second wave. I'm still trying to hold out and see what's going to go on because, man, I want to do that crystal dig in Arkansas, but man, I just don't know what to do at this point.
I know it's so hard. I know.
Because I know
it'll
that
be fine.
I do know the crystal mines did stay open during this last one, but it's a matter of travel that concerns me.
Yeah.
Yeah, with all these riots, they may lock the whole darn country down just because.
You just don't know.
That's what I worry about the most. What are they going to lock down, and what aren't they going to lock down? I mean, how far will they go? We've seen what they did over a virus. What are they going to do? And things get really bad, and they have some more states that are new countries pop up in a city again. All I can see from this coming is bad vibes, because how are they going to get rid of that little country in the middle of a city in our country? They're going to have to go in there, and those people are going to fire back. It's going to be a little war, and that ain't going to be good for anybody.
Our military won't have no problem dealing with that.
Oh, I know, but people will
they
get
won't have no
killed,
problem
and then there'll
dealing
be more riots.
Bottom line is if you go in and you kick people out of their own houses and you take over a whole city and you take people and remove them from their personal businesses, that's not legal. That's not legal. You can't do that. So with that, the military is probably going to have to come in and clean it up. Bummer, but you can't do that. You can't just go steal people's stuff and think it's legal. No.
Nope. No.
It's completely, it doesn't even make sense in my brain. I'm like, what are these people thinking? I'm like, I don't get it. I'm like, how in God's name do you think legally this is going to work out for you all? Really?
Oh, yeah. Did you see, I forgot about this. I didn't watch the news today, but I was flipping through, and I reckon China released its military into Beijing today because of another outbreak.
Well, I heard they're getting ready. I heard they're getting ready to deploy into Canada to secure their assets.
That means they'll be here after that.
Only if they're trying to secure their assets, but I don't know if I don't know if Trump's going to let them have their assets. I don't know, because a lot of them got signed over illegally.
Yeah.
You can't just sign over the Grand Canyon. You can't just sign over all of our national parks, bridges, and waterways. Really? You can't do these things. And he did do these things. So he's trying to undo them now. But so, there's, like I said, there's some asset issues, but what was done was completely against. You can't do that. He literally sold off the United States to China.
Of course.
Caught up, Maspina says, I'm in Canada. They better not. We have big guns too.
Yeah, baby, get them out and get them polished up.
That's funny.
Because, see, like I said, you're not alone, because if it goes there, it's going to be coming here too. Yeah. So
I just don't see a point ever where they could get the American people to give their arms up.
Oh, I do. Well, see, maybe it's territories. I know Arizona. If this comes down here, it's going to be a bloodbath.
I'm saying it'll come to that before we hand them over. That's what I'm saying.
The thing is you will hand. The plan is to come to your house. They know that if they come to your house to take your weapons, there's going to be a fight. I mean, every single American.
I don't think they'll be able to do it in Phoenix. I really don't. I really don't. I swear to you, I don't think they would be able to. It would be.
You're not disagreeing with me then. I thought you were disagreeing with me.
No, they are not going to come to your house, take your weapons. You will give them in willingly. Why? Because they're going to use food And if you don't believe me, I don't care, but I think they're going to
You
use
can
the
go and
food.
kill a cow if you have a gun. You ain't gonna be able
Yeah,
to do
well,
shit if there's no food and you got no weapon to go and kill a deer or a cow. You're
I,
screwed.
well, I get that, but just like in the Great Depression, everybody had a gun, and the deer and the turkeys and all that almost became extinct because people are hungry. They didn't care. I'm going to go shoot that deer, that squirrel, or whatever.
That's
and
why.
it took,
That's why we've been telling everybody for a year: start growing food, start getting food
Yeah.
prepared, because this is coming, guys. This is definitely coming. Food is
But-
next. This is the
but
next
what I'm-
agenda.
And it's not
Yeah.
if, it's when.
Oh yeah.
Yes. But what I'm saying is, if your family was starving and they said, you give us your guns and you can have food, would you do it? Or
No.
would you just sit there and starve?
I would go out and I would use my weapon and I would kill me a freaking rabbit.
Yeah, but everybody's already killing
Duh.
rabbits
I
because
mean,
they all have
duh.
guns
How
too.
far are you gonna get when they give you a box of food and now you got no gun
Right.
and now your food's gone in 3 days? What are you gonna do then?
Okay,
Then you're
but how
screwed.
many people will willingly give up their guns to get that box of food? That's
Like
what
I
I'm
said,
saying.
a lot of sheeples are
I
gonna
mean,
be.
I'm sure
Yes.
there'll be a bunch, but I'm saying, I think the majority would not.
I don't think they would either. I don't think they would give them up.
Yeah.
No,
So I
don't
know
think
at least,
I think
in your southern states and stuff like that, I mean, it's pretty much prime out of your dead hands.
that's right.
well, yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I'm not disagreeing that
It's like
a
that
lot
in
of
the
people
West
don't want
too,
to give them up.
Brian.
But when it comes to feeding your family and stuff, people will go to crazy lengths. First they'll go out and they'll shoot all the squirrels. The
That's why
rabbits,
they're
and try
trying to get
survive in
everybody
the
into
deer.
inner city. That's why they're trying
then-
to put
Yeah.
everybody in the
Oh,
city.
and this is the latest report that the next target, guys, is going to Little America. They're going to be hitting
Yep.
small rural communities. So you guys need to make
Yep.
sure and get together and get ready.
Y'all come back
Yeah,
now, you
because-
hear?
That's right. Did
Yeah.
you guys see how
like I
Coeur
said,
d'Alene? Did you guys see how Coeur d'Alene, Idaho handled their problems?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it was great. They had like 50, 60 guys walking up and down Main Street. They had guys on every corner with AK-47s. Those hoodlums pulled up in their vans and they rolled down their window. They says, "What y'all doing in our town?" They says, "Nothing. We're just passing through." They got the hell out of there. They left. They didn't have one single problem. Not one single. They didn't have no masks on their face. They didn't have no social distancing. They were all carrying their weapons. And they didn't have one single problem in that entire.
Well, see, and Arizona's a lot like Tennessee. We've got those militias set up in the mountains and stuff everywhere, like
We got
literally like.
militias, and then we've also got some of the biggest biker organizations here, and those are some hardcore patriots. God bless them. I love every one of them.
We got a big biker population as
Boys
well.
of Thunder. Mm.
That's what I'm saying. Those are the people that will not give up their guns.
No, they won't, and I will go stand with them.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You bet I will stand. And I know many people that if it comes to it, literally,
I live in it.
you start hearing the bikes. You start hearing the bikes because they're like thunder. You can hear those Harleys for a long way. You start hearing those motors rumble, everybody knows something's going down, and we know. So we don't even need communication. It's like, really? Go ahead, try. Fun. It'll be fun.
Yeah. I guess they did the same thing here in North Dakota. I guess they came to, as I was told from my friend, he says they came to Dickinson and all the ranchers and farmer guys and biker dudes came out, and surrounded them and sat there and, well,
So just
they,
try.
they gave up, got in their buses and left.
That's the
So-
only way that we will save our nation is if we start to take action. It has to come from the people,
Yeah,
and the people have to come together and they have to decide to take care of each other and protect each other. And this is how we heal. And this is how we start to change our world into a place where we want to see. It'll based on you're my brother and you're my sister, and we share a local community. And because we share a community, we're going to start to act like now, like we're blood, like we're family. Don't matter what color, what economic status you hold. If you're part of a community, that community, we should be embracing each other like we are family.
You know, it's funny, like how I always title these videos and I never know what we're going to talk about, but it always seems working out. The drive to strive and thrive, and here, what's what we're talking about.
Yeah, this
Sure,
is how it's going to
That's
happen.
right.
Like the only success I'm seeing is in these communities that are coming together.
Yep.
The only
Yeah.
only ones that aren't being destroyed and they aren't having their town halls taken over and this stuff. I mean, bottom line, we're going to have to actually help our cities and our counties stay safe. And it's going to take more than just the police department. It's going to take more than what is being offered. We need to stand up and come together as communities. And when we do, guys, there is nothing that can stop us when we unify. Nothing.
Real quick, I want to tell everybody while we've still got quite a few here. I've got another version of the visible and invisible worlds of God that I can send out now. So if y'all want to start emailing me, I may start reading this Monday, whether if I've sent out at least 10 copies, I'm going to start reading Monday.
Okay.
So if you want a copy of that, go ahead and email me and I'll send it out as quick as I can. So anyway, I just want to throw that in real quick. It's going to be a good book.
Wait, that is going to
Good
be an
deal.
awesome read.
It's so funny today when I went in and
Yeah.
purchased it again, I happened to look at the date it was published. It was published on my birthday.
You can't make this stuff up,
Wow.
right?
It's crazy, isn't it?
Just can't.
Yeah. Now I do know that lady
Synchronicities.
that lady who wrote the book. I've been trying to find a hardcover copy,
Amazon's
paper
got it.
copy.
Books A Million's got it.
but I haven't had any luck. I mean, it was all, digital copies that they were, Kindle copies and stuff that I found.
Well,
I'm
I
glad
can
to-
send you a couple of links. Amazon and Books A Million, you can get hard copies.
Okay, great. That'd be awesome because I know there's a lot of people out there that like a hard copy,
Yeah.
I do
to read
too.
along.
Yeah, I do too. I like real books. I love
Me too.
books.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yes. A real book. Like a lot of these books that I get, I take my printer and I print them out and I put them in folders and then I have something tangible and then I can underline, things and make notes on the side. It's crazy, but yeah. Well, that's great. Yeah, I can't wait to start. That lady, she has a
Caroline
YouTube
Corey?
channel. Yes, she has a YouTube channel and she does YouTube videos and stuff like that. So
I didn't know that. I'll have to check that out.
yeah,
I do know people were asking about Agnost and the last book I did, and his the name of his channel is the Higher Consciousness Show. So y'all can go check his channel out there.
I think I'm
I've subscribed to that and been listening. It's really good. He's really interesting.
He is.
Some episodes are better than others, but it's really interesting.
Oh, so real quick, I want you to tell people about your new venture, Robert.
Oh, okay. So I've gotten so inspired out of all this, I decided to start doing podcasts on Anchor. I started out with Anchor. YouTube did, and it said that was like the easiest one to start, and then they'll spread it around and stuff. So I decided to do the History and Common Sense Show. So if you want to go on Anchor and look it up, it's the History and Common Sense Show. So I hope what to do is read out of some books and make commentary along the way. I think the first one, one of the first ones I did, I talked about Columbus. At least the last one I did, they were ripping down the Columbus statue, and I took my old history book from 1872, and I read out of there the whole chapter or whatever it was about Columbus, and it was totally different than what anything I ever knew. And I was just like flabbergasted that the poor guy got put in chains. He died broke and poor. His boats, the boats that you imagine him sailing in, he only had one boat that was big enough with a deck, and the other two were like, they didn't even have a deck. They were big, just oar boats, like a big rowboat. I'm like, oh my gosh, you crossed the whole ocean in that. I wonder why the guys were terrified. and
Yeah.
it took them 70 some odd days. And I'm thinking them poor guys in them big boats with no cover for 70 some odd days, getting rained on and beaten down by the sun. Holy cow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway.
I want to applaud you though, because like I said, you know, it went from taking forever to get you on here to like I said, now you're setting that example for others. You jumped in with both feet, so bravo.
Yeah. He's
Thank you.
fired
Thank you.
up. I love it.
You sent me that link. I thought it was in the email. It must be on Messenger. So I'll make sure that I copy that link and I'll share it in chat tomorrow night.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. And you know, like I said, I'm going to try to make some short episodes and, you know, make them 15 minutes long or so. They might get a little carried away, but I'm going to try to find some interesting facts. I got a lot of old books, a lot of history books and I love the old books because I do believe they were, you know, closer to the history than so far away. It's like, you know, let's research, you know, the Revolutionary War, but I got a Revolutionary War book that was wrote like, you know, 40 years after the Revolutionary War, you know,
Well,
so
yeah,
they must have had.
You make a very
Right.
good point there too, because that's what I was going to say. Even now to this day, like when we go to Iraq and they're destroying all those temples and stuff, they're still trying to rewrite our history today. So yeah, the older books you can get, the more accurate it would be, even though that's not saying much, to be honest. But
It's amazing. I have some old books too, and it is so profound the way that our children are being taught versus the way that we were taught and versus the way that our grandparents were taught. It's completely different.
Yes.
Completely different.
So, and you make a really good point. So I love history. So I studied this stuff and I bought some old history books. Like I said, the oldest one I got is 1872. And then I bought one and it's from the like 1920s. And then I got some from the 50s. And if you look at the same stuff that they're talking about, how it changes, they start leaving out details, and then it gets generalized, and then it moves on. And it's like, holy cow, you read that story from Columbus in 1872, and then you read the one from 1950, they're talking about a whole other different guy.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
All the opinions get thrown in there. Oh yeah, by the way, folks, another thing I want to throw in before I forget. Tomorrow night, the return of Brian Lunsford. He's back. We found him. So I'll have him on tomorrow night.
Awesome.
I really don't know what we'll talk. We'll probably talk about some things. We'll probably pull some cards too. It's been a while since we've pulled any cards, and I know people seem to like it. So
absolutely,
take some phone calls. You never know, but it'll be me and Brian tomorrow night. So
right on.
Well, listen, y'all got a final thought you want to give it to us before we wrap her up?
Robert, you want to?
Yeah. Oh, I'll go. Okay. Well, anyway, I think the dog wanted to go first.
My husband wants to.
Anyway, I just want to tell people, don't. Yeah, there you go. Don't let yourself be wrapped up into everything that's going on in the world. Concentrate more on yourself and don't be fearful. You know, you're an eternal being. Don't worry about it. Live your life. Enjoy. Focus your intentions on manifesting good things. And don't let this stuff bother you. If it does, turn the TV off, turn the radio off, and concentrate on nature. Something, anything that you enjoy. If you play an instrument, play some beautiful music. You know, it doesn't matter, but just get yourself off of all this stuff that's going on, because it's dragging everybody down into a lower vibration, I swear.
That's why I say get out there and create, because if you're creating, then you're definitely not buying into the rest of the crap.
Yeah.
Trina, are you going to read something for us? It looks like.
I was just looking at something, and it's just, you know, it just keeps going back to the whole thing. It's like, guys, it's like, these are really stressful times, and we don't know what's going to happen from day to day. And that can be overwhelming. And a lot of us are like I'm seeing this in my reality, is a lot of people that have been completely asleep. This is starting to wake them up. Some are fully waking up because their reality has been shaken. And
2020.
this awakening that's happening, I mean, people need to have compassion. It's creating a lot of trauma and a lot of releasing of darkness. And this is the polarity, because you're going to see a group of people that are standing in their power, standing in their truth, and they're going to be preparing as best as they can for earth changes and whatever might come, because there's so many potentials. And then you're going to have the other ones that are just following the crowds and trying to go with the, the rioting and the chaos and all this. So I think it's just important to stay away from the chaos and try to protect yourself and your communities from the chaos, and do the best thing that you can just to stay as safe and protected as you can for yourself and the people around you. Because if we can come together and embrace each other, there's nothing that we can't get through. Nothing.
That's what, I keep saying this, be that beacon of light, be that, that calming presence amongst all the madness. That's the best thing we can do.
Yeah. And when we see people that are in stress and distress, just one thing: what can I do to help?
Yeah.
What can I do to help?
And it's as simple as just asking, because most people don't even ask.
Yeah.
They'll probably say nothing, but at least you asked.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
All
So
right.
crazy times and crazy things happening. So we've got to stay focused in our centerness, because the world is trying to make everybody stressed out. Everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, they throwing everything at us. Trust me, I know. So, keep it strong out there, folks. Trust me, if I can make it through the shit I've been going through, anybody can make it. We're going to come out through this stronger than ever. I promise you that. So,
Yeah.
thank you both for joining me once again. I'm sure we'll be coming back again next week. Folks, tomorrow night, like I said, the Brothers Brian, be there, be square.
Be fun.
Until then, be the frequency you want to see,
Wonderful.
folks. I love you all. Have a wonderful night.